Hey guys, this is Todd Wilkes with TCW Homes. We've been putting out a lot of great videos showing the work that we've been doing on houses, the small renovations, the big renovations, all types of renovations. And we've been getting feedback from our potential customers and just general public questions that people are asking. So I'm going to go through some of these questions and answer these questions. And hopefully they're going to answer some questions for you too. The first question on the list is, how long does a renovation cost or take? So the renovations, they take from different times depending on the size of the project. If we're doing just a kitchen renovation, that's going to take you anywhere from 8 to 12 weeks, depending on the size of the kitchen and how much work we're doing inside that. Are we moving walls, or are we just pulling out and putting new cabinets in? So it really depends on that type of work on the kitchen. On a bathroom, if we're going to do just a bathroom renovations are anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks to a bathroom. One bathroom is going to take a little less, and if we do 2 bathrooms, it's going to take longer. Most of the time when we come in and do a bathroom, we don't usually do one bathroom, we do multiple bathrooms. So that's one thing. All right, so another question that are part of the timeline questions that they have is, how long is the whole house renovations? Because we do a lot of whole house renovations, whether it's just coming inside and gutting the interior of the house and giving it a new layout for today's world, not of the time that the house was built. A lot of houses we work on here in Atlanta, Georgia, and the Decatur area are going to be built in the 50s. So these houses are very compartmentalized based upon the type of heat. In the today's world, we have the central heating and all, it's just very, very efficient. So now we can open up houses, and so people are wanting to open the house, a little more open floor plan. So then we'll do a whole house renovation based upon that. But another whole house renovation would be where we'll take and redo the main level on the floor, take the roof off and put a second level on that house. So then we make the house a bigger house. But see, that is falling into how long does it take? So to answer that question, that's a several month long project that we're going to do. And depending on if we're doing the first floor only, or we're doing an addition off the back, or we're taking the roof off and putting a second floor on it, that's really going to be depending on the size of the job. But ultimately, that's going to be your 5, 6, 7, 8 month long project. So I hope that answered your questions on the timeline. Now we're going to talk about some price points on the projects. We're going to stay in the order. We'll go kitchens, bathroom, and whole house cost. So on average, your kitchens are running around, depending on how you choose your allowances, your kitchens are going to start in around that $50,000 mark, and it also depends on if we're moving walls and things like that. So, but around $50,000 is your price point on your bathrooms. Your bathrooms are anywhere from $25,000 to $30,000 for a single bathroom. If we're doing multiple bathrooms, you get a little bit of price savings because it reduces some timeline on the job for doing both jobs. So then you're going to look at anywhere from $30,000 to $50,000 for one bathroom or 2 bathrooms. A whole house renovations, now that can be a tricky one, because again, like I was saying, it could be just on the interior of the first floor, it could be an addition off the back, or it could be a pop the top, or it could be all 3. Those price points, they usually start in around $250 and they go up. And I can tell you, we've done some really expensive renovations, but they get a huge return on their value when we start doing that whole house renovation. So that's something to take in consideration as well. One of the questions here, the next question is, do we need to move out on the project? So a lot of times when we're doing these projects, it depends on the house and the family. If they've got kids running around, they got pets, and the convenience factor of them being able to move out is something that's not necessary on all projects, but some of the projects it is necessary. But on a kitchen renovation, usually the customers will stay in the kitchen, though they're eating at McDonald's or Steak and Shake or whatever they decide they may want to go get some food at, but their kitchen's gone. But they usually stay in the house. Sometimes they actually will make a makeshift kitchen in their living room or in their basement or something like that. So that's what happens on that. Moving out is not necessary for a kitchen. And that goes with the same thing with the bathrooms. When we're doing 1 or 2 bathrooms, we try to leave the customer a bathroom so they don't have to move out of the house, and they still have the availability of a bathroom. But sometimes they choose to do both of them at the same time to speed up the process and save some money. So that is something you don't have to move out, but a lot of our customers will stay in the house. They'll utilize their gym's bathrooms or neighbors' bathrooms or something like that to be able to have a place to take a shower before they go to work and things like that. So On a whole house renovation, that's kind of self-explanatory. You just can't live in your house when there's no walls in your house. So these houses, well, these big whole house projects, that usually the customer has to move out. It's just a construction site, because when we do projects like that, we gut the whole house. There isn't a house there. It's just a shell. It's just the bones, inside bones of the house. So people do move out on that one. All right, another question is about permitting. So most of the jobs that we do are permitted jobs. So these are permits that we pull through the county or the municipality, the city, depending on where it's lays. And this is something that TCW offers as part of our package of doing the project for you. We will go and pull the permits and do all the necessary, pay all the fees and do all of that to make sure, because we've done it so much and for so long, we have a process. And we can pretty much tell you how long it's going to take to get each permit or the different types of permits. So we've got pretty good at doing that. So our permitting process is done pretty smoothly, as best as we can deal with working with the government on their timeliness. How do we handle unexpected issues? For example, these are older houses that we're working on, and a lot of times they've had the mom and pop people come, or their grandfathers come in, or somebody's come in and done a renovation, or they purchased a house and that has a newer kitchen. Instead of having that 1950s kitchen, they've got a 1970s kitchen, which is still not up to today's par. So whenever we open up these new walls and it reveal all of the studs, we might come across something where somebody's wired something wrong. If we might come across termites, and we've done that multiple times, we might find some sort of structural entity that's caused it. We've actually opened up houses and we've seen where a tree has fallen on the roof and they just put lipstick on a pig and cleaned it up. We see foundation where the foundation is settled over time. And so these are things that will be unexpected. We don't normally see until we open things up. So it's kind of set up on if we're doing it's set up through change orders. I hate to use that word change orders because everybody's got a frown on the word change orders, but ultimately they're needed because these are things that are inside the walls that aren't revealed at the time of estimating. But we work our way through that with our customers, try to figure out how to get it done. The guys are there. We can get it fixed and get it done at a very reasonable price point to get that stuff handled. And then's the time to do it anyhow. We don't want to put lipstick on a pig and call your house a brand new house. So that's how we handle that. It's on a per incident occasion, but we're real good at, we've been doing this a while, and I can, myself and the sales reps and the project managers, we can look through a house, walk through a house, and pretty much see a lot of that stuff, but we can't see everything. So that would be how we handle the unexpected issues, as you call it.